Yeah, man. This game was wild. It was lit. You see, we just went down 8 for a dunk. You know what I mean? Like that could be this possession right here. This could make or break the game, to be honest. And look, taking a bad shot.
Down 30, man.
We down 8. It ain't too many possessions left, and everybody's still staying together. You see, nobody got their heads down. We still playing defense. Look, Big Steve battling right there.
Man.
We still battling. Like we never felt like we were until the end of the game. We never felt like it was over. We drew this setup right here. I remember this set. We drew this set up. We actually ran this play a couple times. That's my boy Travis right there, guarding.
Man. Relaford.
Yeah, Relaford. We grew up playing together, and I knew he was gonna be aggressive on me. That's why I just try to attack him quick and get by him.
Nice.
And Coach Hayes drew this like that's like a little Iverson cut where he kind of get you off the ball quick into some isolation. Like I had that whole area over there. If y'all watch, we kind of did like a counter to this. I don't remember exactly what possession it was, but we did a little counter to that play, and I popped open for a 3. Here we just trying to pressure the ball. Phil was a ball hog. Look, he gambled a lot, but he'll make up for it. Look, everybody guarding, everybody down in position. We ready. Look, you see the crowd right there.
That's tough.
Yeah, you see the crowd. They hype right now. Look, we run it again. It said it was bait right there. We came back, ran a stagger. Look, Ricardo missed that screen right there. Ricardo missed that screen, but Kenny got him enough to where I was still open. You see?
That's tough.
Well, I wasn't really open. I just shot my open.
That was tough, yeah.
And number 2, he from Kansas City too. He was talking crazy to me during the game. I don't really be talking. I don't really be talking to them dudes on the court.
Still pressing the ball. Oh.
Yeah, look. I'm telling you, they be shook. Look, that's a big stop right there. And right here, I already knew. Look, I'm Phil trying to get the ball. I'm like, move. I don't know what Phil was doing. I was not passing this ball unless I got doubled. Look, they helping. I thought Matt was gonna shoot that. He helped off.
Wow.
Got enough shot. Got enough space for the shot. Bill Self, like, man, this crowd going crazy right now.
Crazy.
Look at them. They going nuts right now.
That's big. Is it a 3? That's a 3 ball.
Yeah, they gave us 3. My foot got behind the line. Hey, I had a coach that was an assistant. He came. Matter of fact, it was like a scout or something. He was scouting me in China just recently. He was talking about he was at this game.
He's high power. Man. That's high power. Big shot.
Yeah. Look, and we locking up. Look, everybody locked in.
It is.
Look, we locked up. Look, everybody. Look at Kimmy. He about to come help.
Oh.
What they call?
Call a foul.
All right, you know how that go. You know how that go. But I don't know. That look like good defense. But they gonna miss some. They gave us one. This is how it go. But look, that's that effect of that crowd right there.
Yeah.
They still got the antlers, don't they?
Oh, they got the antlers.
Yeah, the antlers. Look, he missed both.
Both of them.
Fresh.
Yeah. That's it right there. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's it right there.
Well, I can't
now it's a whole different
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they had to go in and foul us. They didn't want to foul Mike. I think me and Mike was first and second in the league in free throws that year. They got the right one right there. Look at but that was the thing about us, man. I think we was scrappy. We was gonna fight. You know, obviously we would lose some games, but you had to make it tough. Look. All right, so look right here. People don't know this. I mean, I bet Coach know this. Every time out of a timeout, they try to get that. They try to get into that set where it's a back door for Tyshawn over in that corner. And that was just the IQ of this team. We knew they was going to run that play right there. They run it all the time, still to this day.
That was a big charge by Mike.
Yeah, that was good defense by Mike right there.
91%. These good.
Yeah, that was good. It ain't even a question. We already knew these was good. 91, yeah. They might as well. Yeah, that was good right there. I know he had to make this one. Yeah. Yeah, that sealed it for him right there. And they tried to, like our fans, you know how the fans are. They just be playing. They just got so much passion. They try to rush the court. We like, man, we ranked 4th. Why we gonna rush the court for? We lost what? 2 games all year at this point, or 1 game. Yeah, we supposed to win at home.
That was great energy.
That's tough.
That was the last one, last Big 12.
That was the last Big 12 home game. We played them again at Allen Fieldhouse, maybe a month and a half later, or maybe a month later. Man, when I tell you this was the craziest game I've ever been a part of. I've been in Fog Allen many, many times, and I've never seen the fans at Fog Allen so quiet in my life. The second game we played, and we was up 19 at halftime. You could hear a pin drop in there. And somehow we blew that game, and we ended up losing a close game against them the second game, and that was the last game ever played against them.
Wow.
Get them back, man. We get them back.
Yeah, we definitely need to.
Now, Marcus, how was that the Illinois series, that bragging rights? How was that?
Man, it used to be packed. We used to play there, man. It was always a battle. We lost to my freshman year.
Okay.
And we made a promise we'd never lose Illinois game again. The rest of it was the worst Christmas for me. That was the worst Christmas I had. I don't know, man. That had to be my worst Christmas, just driving back to Kansas City with that L. Christmas just dead. No matter what gifts you get, no matter what gifts you get, it was dead. So we was just like, man, we never losing this game. We made a pact. Like, me and my classmates, the guys I came in with in my class, we made a pact. We like, man, it don't matter what, we can't lose that game because our whole break is just gonna be bad.
Now, when you were a freshman, who'd they have when you were a freshman?
They were always good. They had like Trent Meacham, Dimitri McCamey.
Was Brian Cook there?
Cook, I don't remember Cook. What's the name was there? Who's coaching at B Tech now?
Chester Frazier.
Chester was there. Mike Davis. They had a nice little squad there. They was pretty good my freshman year, and they had beat Mizzou 8 years straight, I think, before we got there. So
you said no more.
Nah, we had to change that up, man.
Man, I know you guys was like close on the court, but like, what was y'all doing like off the court?
I mean, you know how Mizzou is, man.
Yeah.
You know, when I was there, all my teammates were super close. Like we used to have fun, you know, enjoy college like the rest of our like the rest of the kids that go to school. But the biggest thing I think for us that helped us a lot was we played like a lot of pickup, and we was always in the gym. So it kind of gave us that on the court, that edge a little bit. Everybody knew each other. Everybody kind of gelled more, you know what I'm saying? So we always was kicking it with each other, even if it was just like 4 or 5 of us. It wouldn't be like clicky, but we always would hang out with each other off the court. You know what I'm saying? We always had fun, though. I think that's important. You know, you got to enjoy yourself, but you got to be smart about it, too.
Right.
Marcus, when you came out of high school, and I saw you coming out of high school, talented player, tough kid, wasn't highly ranked as far as, you know, top 25 and 30. How did you get to the point when you left high school, then when you left as one of the all-time greats in Mizzou history? How did that happen?
I mean, just putting the work in. I think, you know, for me, I know a lot of people say that, but, you know, I'm not a 6'10" guy with a 40-inch vertical. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly from the day I decided, you know, I'm going to Mizzou, and the day I got on campus, I had to actually improve every day. I had to put the work in. And Coach Zimmerman, who was the assistant there, he was real big on like, what's the word? I would say like putting a schedule together, or like, you know, doing something like every day. Like, let's say if I'm doing it today, doing it tomorrow at 3 o'clock. When I came in, I used to hear stories about people, you know, getting 5,000 shot makes a day, all different stuff. And I'm like, man, if they doing that, like I was like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know how that somebody's saying they making 5,000 shots a day. I'm like, I'm making like 7 out of every 10, and I can't get to that. So I was talking to Coach Z, and he was telling me, like, man, listen, if you shoot, like, let's say that's what you decide to do. If you shoot and work on pick and roll today, and you do it for 30 minutes, and you get 100 makes, or you get 500 makes, whatever you do that every single day. Yeah. And so my freshman year, I came in, and I had some guys that were there. They had been there. And, you know, I felt like I should be playing, but, you know, I was a freshman, so I had to come in and earn my key. So I was just like, man, I'm about to outwork all the dudes that's there, and I'm going to try to steal minutes every time I can. I'm going to try to steal minutes. And Coach Anderson would play freshmen, but he would play everybody, but the freshmen kind of had to earn their way. And so I just came in, and I just put that work in early, and I start to see it pay off going into the season, just from my summer school before for my freshman year. I just start putting the work in, man, and stay consistent. Like, I never missed a day. Like, I'm not BSing. Like, it's no joke. I never missed one day of staying after and getting shots up. You know what I mean? Not one day in 4 years. Any of my coaches, any of my teammates would tell you that. And I feel like, you know, obviously if we had to go to a meeting or something, but if we had not class, or we didn't have something we had to leave right after, I was there every day just putting the work in. And I feel like that's something that helped pay off for me coming in as a, I don't know, 3-star kid, or, you know, whatever it is, and just being hungry and feeling I belong and better than a lot of the dudes who were, let's say, top 25 or whatever, you know, just having that chip on my shoulder.
Marcus, if somebody asked you, what is Mizzou basketball culture, what would you tell them?
Well, I feel like the culture of Mizzou basketball has to be, I feel like it's something that, in my opinion, this is something that it should be someone that the club hangs itself on its passion. You know what I mean? I feel like the players, the coaches, and, you know, the fans, the students, and everyone involved in the program should have that passion out on the court. Whether you win or whether you lose, I feel like it never should be easy. Like somebody say, oh, I got Mizzou today. You know what I mean? Like when you say I got Mizzou, you know it's gonna be a tough night. Even if we get Mizzou, it's not gonna be easy. You know what I mean? And I feel like me being from Missouri, from Kansas City, and going to Mizzou and being a Mizzou fan, even now, I feel like that's something that Mizzou basketball has to hang its hat on, is playing with that passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Marcus, how did you feel? As hard as you work, because you had a reputation for working, as hard as you work and the time you put into on the floor, how did you feel when you saw some of your teammates didn't work as hard as you worked?
I mean, I just felt, I would say I was one of the leaders as I began to be an upperclassman. And I would say that since I got on campus, everyone that wasn't working, they kind of stood out, because a lot of my class and a lot of the guys that I was there with at Mizzou, they did put the work in. So we would get on, but we would kind of make fun of the dudes like, man, that's why you out there going 2 for 10. You don't never stay out there and get no shots up. You know what I mean? And so what started to happen was it became like a culture where first, it'd be 4 or 5 dudes staying out there getting work in, and then it was 7 or 8. So if it's 12 dudes on a team and 8 of us is in there getting extra work in, the 2 and 3 dudes stood out. You know what I mean? So I didn't necessarily feel a way about it, because you know, everyone kind of bought into it. But, you know, we definitely would give people a hard time who, you know, if they was missing free throws and they wouldn't stay out there and get no free throws in, or, you know, they tricking layups, or you not catching a ball, you know what I mean? So, but I think it goes to actually what Mitchell was saying is having a relationship with each other to be able to communicate that. Because, you know, someone could say something to me, and if we're not even cool or we got issues that's off the court or whatever, I might not take heed to what they saying to me anyway and transfer it over into the game. So,
yeah. So you got a lot of guys trying to get to the next level. What's some advice you would give them?
Well, first, what I would my first advice would be stay true to yourself and be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have I won't say unreal expectations, but you know, if you're a kid that was a freshman this year and you averaged 8, you know what I mean? And then the next year you go in thinking like, all right, I want to be better next year, but thinking you about to go be an NBA All-Star next year. You know what I mean? Like I hear a lot from I have a youth program right now, and we going through it right now with kids that have played solid, you know, played solid in high school, but them and their parents think that they're high major kids. You know what I mean? And so I feel the same thing must translate when you're getting ready to be a pro. It doesn't mean that you can't take steps to get to where you're trying to go, but I think you got to be real with yourself first. And the next thing is, I feel like you just got to put the work in. Like I said, it obviously won't always pan out like you plan. Sometimes it will, but I think the biggest thing is you won't have any regrets if you know you put in all the work that you need to do to prepare yourself for the next level. You know what I mean? Be coachable. Listen to the coaches, because I done seen dudes blow money just because they don't want to listen to what the coach saying. Be a good teammate, you know, be a good person, because I mean, you a hooper. You see dudes all the time. You see a dude that's the 12th man in the league on the bench, like, man, how is this dude getting contracts every season? Like, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Like, how is he getting contracts? But, you know, he's coachable. He's a good teammate. He doesn't come in pouting and complaining. He's putting the work in every day and being a professional. So I feel like when you're getting ready for the next level, you have to understand that you're a professional now, and, you know, no one's going to force you to get up and go to the gym. No one's going to force you to get up and, you know, no one's going to force you to eat the right food or make sure you're getting lifts in. Like, this is something that it becomes mandatory for you as a professional. So them just a few of the things I feel like is important for guys, especially when they start making money after college. You know, I feel like, you know, you provide for your family now, so you just got to make the smart decision.
But as a former player that played at Mizzou, what was one or two of your favorite memories, and also what was the impact of the Mizzou fan base in the crowds when you were at the games?
Well, I'll start off first with the impact of the crowd. When I played, obviously we were Big 12, and I was the last year Big 12, and every Big 12 game was sold out. Mizzou fans packed the gym out. It was, 15,061? Did they change that, or is it still 15,061? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so every game was 15,061. It was packed, and for conference games. And I felt like that passion I talked about earlier, the fans fed off of it, you know. And obviously, if you start to win games, it's just how Mizzou fans are. You know, they'll start to come out. They'll pack the games. Even like this year, I got to come to a game. I checked a couple games out, you know, deeper in conference play, and the fans were starting to come out. So I feel like they're super impactful, especially when you playing like the type of defense that you coach, and you get stopped a couple times, and then the crowd start getting into the game. man, that 4-point lead go to 8 sometimes. You know what I mean?
You hear that, Mitch?
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Nah, it's real. It's real. I'm telling you, because I used to see it in dudes' face because we pressed a lot, like full court press. Man, I used to see it in dudes' face. They be all Big 12, all American. Man, they did not want to get that pressure, and then they get a turnover. They start fumbling the ball or something. And I'm talking about these is NBA dudes, good players, like, but that pressure, the crowd get behind them. You can't really hear. You getting locked up on defense, man. So you know how I go, man. I feel like Mizzou, the crowd used to be, you know, it was super important. I feel like, and as far as one of my memories, this is some that kind of goes with the fans. Like winning the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. For me, I'm from Kansas City. You know, all of my family, everybody from my neighborhood, people I grew up with, all at the games or watching the game in Kansas City, and I'm playing for my state school, and we win the Big 12 tournament. That was one of my best memories at Mizzou. And, you know, even the fans get to come to Kansas City since we close. And so they definitely had an impact on that as well. But I feel like that would be going to the Elite Eight. I feel like just winning in those big stages, those big games. Like we had a lot of them playing in the Garden. We played like Villanova in the Garden. I feel like at the time you just kind of going through it and, you know, just part of the process. But when you look back at it, like I'm talking to dudes that remember games people I don't know, you know what I mean? And I meet them, you know, in China somewhere, and they like, yeah, I was at the game at the Garden. And I'm like, man, that, you know, just to be able to play on those stages, Memphis, man, I had so many good memories at Mizzou, to be honest.
Marcus, the last thing I got for you is I forgot to ask this. When you found out about the coronavirus, you were playing in China when it happened?
Yeah, I was in China.
How were they dealing with that over there when you first found out about it?
Well, see, where I was at, it hadn't really hit there yet. And so, I mean, I was fortunate because we had an away game, and right after the away game, we got Chinese New Year. So I came home the very next day after kind of the outbreak started, and I was home for break. And while I was home for break, they told me, like, don't come back. You know, this is getting serious. Everything was postponed. And so I've been home since like mid-January, and everything just been getting pushed back, postponed it till April, then they postponed till May. Now they saying July, you know what I mean? I'm not really sure what's going to go on with it. Contractually, I'm definitely not sure what's going to go on. So I'm just staying in contact with my agent and, you know, staying in contact with the team because obviously, you know, everybody been affected by it so much right now.
Oh, man, we appreciate it, man, all you do for this university. Keep doing your thing, man. I've always enjoyed watching you play, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it for sure, man.